New York Mills does have the heart of their order coming up here in the top of the fourth. 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Dylan Fisher, Darren Gaudette, Corey Roberts to take on Jordan Segadal. First pitch fastball well above the letters for ball one. No hits for New York Mills yet in this one. And only one base runner as Preston Newborg reached on a walk in the second. Fisher is 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the opening frame. And Segadal had to take a second to recover the baseball there. 2 balls, no strikes as Fisher leads off the fourth. That fastball is in the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fisher is a senior, and he actually quit baseball midway through his sophomore campaign. Didn't play at all during his junior season as he pokes that one foul down the right field line. But then Fisher elected to come back for his senior season, give it his all during his last year of high school, and he said that head coach Dustin Geiser was a big reason he returned. He said he's a good role model, and he hustles whenever he can because of the expectation that Geiser sets. Fisher swings through the fastball up in the zone, and it's the second time that he strikes out today. That brings up Darren Gaudette. The sophomore is 0 for 1 with a ground out to first. First pitch fastball that he swings through, kind of stepping away from the plate. And to get to that outside heater, he'll have to hang in there. 0-1 offering on the way. Misses inside. Gaudette's older brother played on the state tournament team for New York Mills back in 2014 when they'd lose in the state championship against New Life Academy by just 1 run, 5-4. Slow roller, foul down the third base line. And Gaudette is a phenomenal two-way player. Head coach Dustin Geiser called him a gamer, said he embraces the big moments and shines in them. And he's still growing physically, so he has a lot of room to improve in the coming years. That strike 3 gets away from the catcher Elfring. Gaudette goes down to first on the drop third strike. The ball dropped out of play, again into that photographer's bay next to the New York Mills dugout. And now New York Mills has just their second base runner of the game. Corey Roberts to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. Segadal forced to work from the stretch, and he misses up high with a fastball. Now, you've heard the name Roberts a lot today, but they're not all related. Caden and Dre are brothers. Corey is not related to the other two. One-oh pitch, again up high. Caden and Dre also have 4 older siblings, 3 sisters and 1 other brother, and all 6 have played in the softball or baseball state tournament. So those 6 siblings have really mastered the diamond sports, and they play in the right community for it. Of course, the New York Mills baseball program has been great over the last decade. Segadal having some issues with control now as he issues a 4-pitch walk to Corey Roberts. That transition from the windup to the stretch can be tricky sometimes, and it might have affected Segadal there. Abe Carlson to the plate. First pitch fastball called for a strike on the outer half. 1 down in the top of the fourth. This is the first time that New York Mills has had 2 runners aboard at the same time. Segadal checks on Gaudette at second, now comes home. Hit on the ground, left side, Hayden Turstig backhands, throws to third. in time. Great play by Hayden Terstig at short to get the lead runner Gaudette. And now there are 2 down in the 4th. Really heads-up defense by the shortstop there. Preston Newborg will bat with 2 down. Still runners on first and second. And he waves at the first pitch fastball up near his eyes. Newborg made an error at third earlier in this game. He was also the first base runner for New York Mills as he walked in the second. Pop up behind home plate, and that will reach the seats. And it hops all the way into the press box right next to us. No balls, 2 strikes for Newborg. New York Mills trying to crack the scoreboard first in this Class A state championship. Segedal comes set and comes home. And he went off speed. Misses high and tight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Newborg is 1 for 6 in the state tournament. 9 RBI on the season, and he's in a big spot here. 1-2 pitch. And that just barely misses the low and outside corner. New York Mills has been slow to get the bats started so far in the state tournament. They really didn't come to life in the quarterfinal or semifinal until the 6th inning. 2-2 offering, misses high and outside. The score was 2-1 going into the 6th against Southridge last Thursday, a game that they won 10-1. And they only scored 1 run against Sacred Heart until the 6th in the semifinal. Swing and a miss, and Segedal gets out of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, but 2 men left for New York Mills. It's the first time that they come close to mounting a rally. Instead, they go without a run. And we head to the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless in our Class A championship game. Aiden Elfring leading off here for Bold in the bottom of the 4th. As you see it there, 2 hits so far for the Warriors, but New York Mills yet to notch a hit in this title game. Off the end of the bat, over the head of Dre Roberts and into right center. The second time today that Bold gets their leadoff man aboard. And just the 3rd hit of the game for the Warriors. And again, it looks like they'll courtesy run for the catcher, Aiden Elfring. Avery Herdina jogs out to first base. And will run with nobody out in the 4th. Zeke Walton to the plate. Walton's the 8-hitter to be followed by Matt Morse at the bottom of the order. Walton dropped a sacrifice bunt down back in the 2nd. He does it again here. Caden Roberts fields his position and applies the tag on Walton. Great speed by the pitcher Roberts to field and then tag out Walton, but Herdina is able to easily advance to second base on the sacrifice. Quite the day at the office for Zeke Walton. Just doing his job. 2 sacrifice bunts. Pinch hitter here for Bold. It's Blake Flan digging in, replacing Matt Morse. And he crushes it to left field. Tough play for Salo. He won't get to it. Herdina's rounding third, and he'll score easily. It's a double for the pinch hitter, Blake Flan. And Bold strikes first, scoring here in the 4th inning. How about that? Brian Kingery shakes things up. with the pinch hitter, the junior Blake Flan, steps in and comes up with the only extra base hit we've seen so far today. Back to the top of the order, it's Luke Ryan at the plate now. And the first pitch is off speed down the middle for a called strike. One more look at a really solid cut from Flan, turning on an off speed pitch from Roberts and dumping it in to left field. One ball, one strike count for Ryan, who is 0 for 2 at the plate. Grounded out to first in the first inning and popped out to the shortstop in the second. Sits back on that curveball and then fouls it off. Ryan was a finalist for the Minnesota Mr. Football Award last fall, the second finalist ever from Bold, as he played wide receiver, defensive back, kicker, and punter for the Warriors. Lifted high in the air out to right. Geyser comes in, makes the catch, throws a dart back into the infield. But Flan is easily able to tag from second and jog on down to third base. And now Flan is 90 feet from scoring run number 2 for Bold here in the fourth. There are 2 away, though, and it's Braden Turstig at the plate. He's 0 for 1, walked in the first and flew out to center in the third. First pitch from Roberts, changeup called for a strike on the outer black. Turstig's only a sophomore. As mentioned earlier, as the kicker on the football team, he broke the state record for extra points in a single season this past year. And Luke Ryan, as I said, played kicker as well. They traded off in those duties sometimes. Ryan must have been the long distance specialist as Turstig handled the extra points. Skied to right again. Geyser coming in, and he squeezes it for the third out. So we finally have a scoreline at Target Field. Bold scores 1 in the bottom of the fourth, coming on 2 hits, including the RBI double from Blake Flan. No errors in the frame. One man stranded at third. 4 complete now in downtown Minneapolis, and Bold leads 1-0. Bottom of the order due up for New York Mills here with 7, 8, and 9 hitters as they trail for the first time today. Dre Roberts 0 for 1 with a ground out to third so far. Sagadol finds the zone with that fastball, and we're even at 1-1. Now head coach Dustin Geyser admitted that in baseball you have a lot of superstitious people, and whether or not Sisu is changing anything going into those 6th innings, who knows. But the team will break it out now and then, and it wouldn't be surprising that they would do that here today at Target Field. Sagadol winds the 1-2. Fastball misses almost in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No hits yet for New York Mills today. They have had a couple men reach on errors as well as a couple of walks. And the count runs full for Roberts as he leads off this top of the 5th inning. Payoff pitch. Chopped right back to Sagadol, who backhands it and flips it over to first for out number 1. Both pitchers have been tremendous at fielding their positions today. And that will bring up Gabe Geyser. The right fielder is 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. First pitch on the way. Fouled straight back into the netting. New York Mills is prepared for this kind of situation. They've clawed and scratched for runs all season. They're not beating teams by 10 runs or more. Slow roller toward Hayden Turstig at short. He gobbles it up and throws a bullet over to first for the second out of the frame. On the season, New York Mills has scored about 6 runs per game while holding opposition to 2.5 per contest. They've posted 5 shutouts. As we noted earlier, Dustin Geiser said defense and pitching have been their MO. But they'll need the bats to produce here in the late innings of this Class A championship. 2 balls, no strikes for Bren Salo as he bats with 2 away. Salo is 0 for 1 with a ground out to first. And the 2-0 is right down Broadway. Sagadol working quickly, and that one is lined foul. So Sagadol battles back to make it 2-2. This is the 7th state tournament appearance for New York Mills and their 3rd chance in the title game. 2-2 pitch, high and outside. And this program has come really close to state championships, lost by 1 run back in 2014 against New Life Academy. And they finish as the runner-up in 2004, too. Fly ball, right field. Morris sets up camp under it and makes the grab. So that's it for New York Mills in the 5th. They go down 1-2-3. The 3rd time today that Sagadol has set down the Eagles in order. 4.5 complete now at Target Field, and Bold will come back to the plate with a 1-0 advantage. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for the Warriors in the bottom of the 5th. Sagadol, Turstig, and Riley Weiss to bat. Hayden Turstig, that is. As you get a peek at this beautiful ballpark in downtown Minneapolis, as we celebrate a decade now of high school baseball at Target Field. It really is fantastic that this venue welcomes in prep athletes at this time of year and lets them play their biggest contest of the season, as you see some New York Mills fans holding up that Sisu sign, as we mentioned in the last half inning. That's their calling card, their motto, a old Finnish concept that means strength of will, determination, or perseverance, and you can bet that they'll be breaking their huddles with it during these last couple innings. And you also see the players starting to spill on the field for the upcoming game. Class 2A will feature Minnehaha Academy and Duluth Marshall. First pitch is set for about 1 o'clock. And you can catch all of the state championship action today right here on PrepSpotlight.tv. Sagadol lines one into right center, and this one will roll all the way to the wall. The 2nd hit of the day for Sagadol as Balk fields in center. They're sending him around from 3rd. Here comes the relay from shallow center, not in time. And inside the park, home run for Jordan Sagadol. It's his 2nd homer of the state tournament. And the junior is carrying Bold, both on the mound and at the plate, in this state title game. It's the 3rd home run of the season for Sagadol as Hayden Turstig bats now. He's now 2 for 3 today with a single and that inside the park 4-bagger. Turstig swings at the 1-1 and chops it foul. Talk about a state tournament for Jordan Sagadol. He got the win in the quarterfinal against Sabika as he threw 6 innings with just 2 earned runs and 4 hits, not to mention 11 strikeouts. He's now 5 for 9 at the plate in the state tournament, and he has 5 RBI. Turstig pops this one into center. Much easier play for Balk, but he slides for it and can't haul it in. Turstig sprinting for second base, and he's in safely. That ball kept drifting toward right field. Not much of a breeze here, but it may have had some odd spin off the bat of Turstig. They rule it an error by Bauk in center. And New York Mills finds themselves in the toughest spot they've seen this postseason. A rare mound visit for the Eagles as they trail 2-0. Bold had been threatening early and often. They left 2 on the base paths in each of the first 3 innings, stranded 1 in the 4th. That was Blake Flan at third base after he had an RBI double that resulted in the first run of the game. Now to start the 5th, they have the inside the park homer for Jordan Sagadol. And then Hayden Turstig reaches on that error out in center field. Riley Weiss at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Weiss had a home run earlier in the state tournament, back in the quarterfinal against Sabika. Slow roller for Caden Roberts. He throws to third in time. That's a gutsy play by Caden Roberts, throwing out Hayden Turstig at third base as Preston Newborg applies the tag. Weiss reaches on the fielder's choice on what was a really ambitious play for Caden Roberts that pays off. 1 down now in the bottom of the 5th, and only a runner on first. Andrew Sheehan swings over the first pitch that he sees. Sheehan is 0 for 2, reached on an error in the 2nd, and grounded out to second base in the 3rd. That pitch is off the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. And not only does Bold only have a runner on first instead of third base here, it's Riley Weiss, who at 6'1", 300 pounds, doesn't present the biggest running threat. Grounder for Newborg at third. Dart over to second base, out there, relay to first, not in time. But again, New York Mills gets the lead runner, and there are now 2 away in the 5th. Obviously, you don't want to be in the hole going to the 6th inning of a championship game, but New York Mills can probably consider themselves lucky given how many runners that Bold has stranded in this contest. High drive, left field. Salo retreating, makes the grab, and that's it for Bold in the 5th.